They think called abduction. Abduction, just to defeat the FACA constitution, outlawed detention without trial. Then to beat them, you detain in Subarus in the boots and take young people everywhere, confuse them. Now we must stand up. The time to stand up, young Kenyans, is now. From across the political divide. I must be honest with you, some of us watched it, we saw these excesses, and now, for whatever it means, I will stand where the people are and defend the Constitution properly. I just wanted to pass this over to you, and while I suggest Kidi a structured inter-party dialogue involving the young Kenyans. Now, my friend Raila whom I've had the honor to deputize 10 years, and then support him another 5 years unconditionally, hoping he was going to become the leader. Because I thought Raila and I shared basic commitment to this country. Now my brother is on the other side. I'm left standing. And believe you me, I'll stand until there's real change in Kenya. Because one time, one of the leading papers sent me to Standard put up a headline, "The last man standing." The last man standing. And Raila called me and said, "Hey Steve, have you seen the paper saying the last man standing?" I said, "Yes." Will somebody has to stand? Because if we all now here say yes sir, and get compromised beyond recognition, what happens to the future of this country? So we must dig in. And I'm here to tell you, dig in. Look at the values we have under Constitution 2010 and Article 10. Look at your rights. Also recognize you are not an island nation when it comes to the issue of human rights, for example. Human rights are universal, and you have imported all those UN resolutions under Article 1920 of our Constitution. They have become part of our domestic law. So I just here to encourage you to stand strong. And believe you me, we'll be with you, whether or not you are Wiper Patriotic Front or Democratic Party or UDA, because I can tell you that a time is coming when Kenyans are going to say, wait, it cannot be any other way than change. The change that has invaded, eluded this nation is coming. So don't give up. Help is around the corner, and play your role. Play your role fearlessly and strongly. What Kenya needs is really no strong men anymore. Africa's strong men. Kenya needs strong institutions. We have the EACC, for example. It's strong. It's a compromise. When William Ruto, the president, went to, before he left to the summit, the Tokyo Africa summit in some place in Japan, he put together what he called a multitask agency to fight corruption. After telling members of parliament, "You're all corrupt." And then members of parliament, I'm told they did not eat lunch at that KCB retreat. They all left. He said, "Man, how can you tell us corrupt? And it is you who sends this corruption money to get us to impeach your deputy president, to impeach your whatever, and the numbers are known. How can you call us corrupt?" So you can now see, yeah? You can give a dog a bad name and then kill it. The challenge to you then, members of parliament, what are you going to do to let Kenyans believe that you are still leaders and you have a little spine left in you? Now, if you're spineless, I tell you, the practice of Kenyans after every 5 years, they actually, over 80% of leaders, members of parliament, senate, go home. And it looks to me that this time is going to be a clean sweep. Because Kenyans want change. And you can't take it away from them. So I must conclude my remarks because I was supposed to encourage you. Remember, women. You are strong. And also country needs strong. As I've seen. Again, the youth people inspired by the Gen Z revolution in Kenya. Kenyans, you must clap for yourselves. Because this is very They say no. But don't worry, moderators, if they demonstrate sometimes intolerance and polarization. Because unless again we move these young people together to be able to sit and discuss and agree, they're seeing the excesses. Now, how do you deal with excesses? Do you say, oh, let us sit and agree that Kenya is a multi-party democracy? It's already in the constitution. Do we sit and say, let us fight corruption? The institutions are there. Or do you come out and throw them out? So the young people, that's the only thing. How do we now manage their fury? Believe you me, even as we speak, the anger that was demonstrated on the 25th of June, 2025, when the young people demonstrated against high cost, high taxation. This country is the most overtaxed nation anywhere in the world. And they said no. And you overtax us and you steal from us as well. And we say no. So before you sit and moderate them, allow them to vent their anger. That anger is still present in our country. And nobody can pretend that Kenyans are not angry. If you get people getting gangster type of execution, like happened to this advocate yesterday, you get people coming up with rungus, state-sponsored violence. I repeat, state-sponsored violence. And you tell them they can sit with you and discuss. Please, if you believe in multi-party democracy, which is in the Constitution, then you must tell those with instruments of power not to misuse those instruments. Allow political parties to organize. I saw somebody from DCP, right? And then they hear Gachagua, regarding Gachagua, the next thing is tear gas, throw him, don't allow him to address them. Honestly, it is not possible in a democracy to deny people the right to speak, the right to go to church. Even in churches, there is some of us in church, they throw tear gas in the church. They beat you up. I want to urge the Kenyans, let us pray that this culture of violence, state-sponsored, where the police also distribute rungus to goons. I think that I like very much what the Law Society is doing. The Law Society sponsored a motion or something in Parliament to make it impossible for leaders who believe in goonism never to be elected. Because how will the young people then grow up? The unfortunate thing, it is the young people who are given those rungus to beat up their fellow youths because they don't belong to the same political belief system. You beat each other, senseless, you kill each other, you maim each other. And then the state will say, we'll compensate you. We'll kill you, then compensate you. My honest submission is let there be a blanket admission by this administration that they wrongfully detained, they wrongfully maim, they destroyed people's property and blamed it on other wrong people, that there must be a blanket apology to the Kenyan nation. That would be something. But you cannot just, compensation without justice. It's not compensation. Honestly, there must be justice and demonstrable ability to say sorry. You're not a fool when you say I'm sorry. Or when you say please. Just to say please. I'm sorry. In fact, the greatest leaders are those like Mwalimu Nyerere, who stood up and said, I am sorry, I introduced Ujamaa a kind of socialization that didn't seem to work. I'm sorry, Tanzanians. We need leaders who to say sorry because they are not angels. Nobody is an angel. So I must conclude, ladies and gentlemen, by encouraging and telling you, mbele iko sawa. But before it is sawa, we must do what we must do. And I tell you, the biggest thing is our constitution. With that constitution, unless it is overthrown, this country will now grow up with you guys looking at you. Even if you're able to sit like this, from Wiper Patriotic Front, from UDA, from Jubilee, from everywhere, if you're able to sit like this, go tell your leaders, tolerate each other as well. Yeah, I'll tell them myself, I'm never afraid of it. I tell them. They tell you, double-faced people, they tell you, hey, we're going to rid this kind of corruption, and go and immediately the next thing is any procurement. Devolution, they say with devolution, they don't believe in it. But let us be careful not to devolve corruption. It's already done, it's been devolved as well. We must really, there's a lot of work to you guys to do. The governance structures, in the youth council, interpreting council, must also try to bring up, in my view, honest advice, some structures, governance structures, that will continue to say no. And you see, for now, we must continue to call out to this regime and to tell them it is not to be business as usual. This revolution is ongoing, and it will come to its fruition at the ballot box in 2027. And nobody can do anything about it. So we are just telling IBC as well not to be partisan. We are watching. They already procured materials. I must tell you this. They've already, but even before the new Ruto Commission came into place, the CEO of IBC, the man have told you this, have already procured materials for 2027 election in the absence of the commission. This is how bad things can become. Will you believe that? It is true. So that they will have eaten before the commission comes in. This is the truth. It's a tragedy of our country. Therefore, young people, your future is here. May God bless you. Bele iko sawa.